Hi guys, it's Tori, and today I'm going to be doing another tag, specifically the Booktuber Favorites tag. I was tagged by Roz over at Scallydandling about the books, and this tag was originally created by a Bibliophiles journey, I believe is what it's called. Let me double check on that. Yes, that is correct. So I will link both of those channels down below. In fact, I will link all of the channels I mention in this video down below so you can check them all out, as this tag is all about shouting out booktubers. I also wanted to mention the change in scenery really quick. So in my bedroom where I usually film, the lighting is really weird and I usually just use my window in there, but I don't know when I'm going to have another opportunity to film. Like, I won't be able to film later in the day when I usually do, where the lighting's a little bit less awkward. So I decided to film in my living room today just to make sure the lighting is okay. I tried to set myself up so that I didn't have too many glass glaring problems, but that's always going to be a problem, so I apologize for that. But let's just get into this tag. So the first question is, what booktuber have you been watching the longest? And the one I first subscribed to was Reagan from Peruseproject, and then the other one that I subscribed to not long after that I've been watching for a long time is Sasha Alsberg. In fact, I don't think that's her channel name, but I can't remember what her channel name is. However, she's a lot more active on Instagram now instead of BookTube, so I will still link her channel down below because she does upload videos every once in a while, but I will also link her Instagram since she's more active on there if you're curious to follow her. But they're both great. Reagan still is pretty regular in uploading videos, and I really enjoy her vlogs especially. Both of them read a lot more fantasy sci-fi than I currently do in my life, and they read slightly different fantasy than I currently do. They read, especially Reagan, reads a lot more YA fantasy than I do at this point in my life. Not that there's anything wrong with that genre, I just have kind of changed as a reader over the years, and I don't read quite as much of that as I used to, which is why I originally started watching her videos, because I was drawn into what she was reading because I was reading very similar things at the time, and now I've kind of shifted a little bit. Again, I still read fantasy pretty regularly, but it's just not my number one genre anymore like it used to be, if that makes sense. But anyway, so yes, those two are the ones I've been watching the longest. The second question is very similar. It's, what's the most recent booktuber you've started watching? And the two I've most recently subscribed to are Katja Weinert, who is fabulous. She's actually, I'm doing a buddy read with her right now of Adam Bede by George Eliot, and we're each other's first buddy read, so that's really exciting. And then the other one I have recently subscribed to is Svea Schaike. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I apologize if she's watching this, but I will link those channels down below. They're both pretty small channels still, but they have really great content, and yeah, so highly recommend them. Question 3 is a booktuber you're friends with or have met. Now, I have not been able to meet any booktubers, largely in part, I did technically start my booktube channel like a year-ish before 2020, so before all the COVID stuff hit. So I was technically on, but I wasn't super engaged in the community, and so that meant that I wasn't really making a lot of connections, and it was a very slow start for my channel just as I started to figure out how I wanted to engage. It was kind of a spur of the moment decision for me to start a booktube channel. I'd watched booktube for years, but I decided on encouragement from my father to start my own channel, and then I just wasn't really prepared for all that entailed. So it wasn't until COVID started that I really started engaging more with the community, and because of that I haven't had a chance to meet people in person because we've been in lockdown and all the different things that have gone with COVID even when you're not in lockdown. So anyway, but the closest I've come to meeting people are, I did my very first live show a couple months ago with Margaret, Pinard, Sandy Gholston, and Joe from Joe Loves Books. Joe Loves to Read. There's another channel that's Joe Loves Books that I haven't watched, but it's Joe Loves to Read is the one that I've connected with. And I've been able to continue to discuss with those three people outside within comments on videos and stuff like that outside of that live show. So I consider them friends. I consider a lot of people I've made connections with on BookTube friends, but I'm going to go with them since I've kind of met them as far as you can meet people during the COVID times right now. So yes, again, their channels will be linked below. Question 4, a booktuber who you get most of your recommendations from, and definitely Jennifer Brooks. I actually literally just purchased a book. She hasn't read it yet, but it was in one of her recent book hauls and it looked interesting. We discussed it a little bit in the comments of how it would probably be up both of our alleys, so I ended up picking it up because she mentioned it in her videos, and a lot of her videos I really pay attention to what books she's reading because I get a lot of recommendations from her. So yes, definitely Jennifer Brooks is one that I get a lot of recommendations from. Question 5, is a booktuber you watch who reads a genre that you don't? And the first one that came to mind for this one was Riley Marie. She reads a lot of romance and horror, like that's primarily what she reads, and those are probably the two genres I read the least amount of. So definitely Riley Marie reads the complete opposite of what I do. In fact, I'm kind of surprised I even started subscribing to her in the first place, because it's not like with others where they read things that I read at the time and now I don't read as much. I literally have never been interested in either of those genres, but I really just like the way she talks about books. I love her vlogs. She does really fun, like, themed vlogs. It's just so much fun to watch her, and I definitely recommend you check her out if you're interested in either of those genres. And even if you're not, feel free to check out her vlogs because they're just so good. She does a lot of vlogs where she'll do like reading the highest rated books on her TBR, reading booktuber recommendations. She did one where she read several books that had similar cover designs to her favorite books and to see how they would compare. So she does a lot of fun stuff like that, and I really like her videos. She's one that, even though she reads completely things I would never get recommendations from her, maybe every once in a while. There's at least one book recently that I can think of right now that she read and encouraged people to read that caught my attention, but for the most part, most of what she reads I have no interest in, but I just really like her as a person and think she's really fun to watch. So question 6, a booktuber whose videos make you happy. I am going to say Charles Heathcote for this. I literally laugh out loud probably in almost any video he puts up. He just has such a dry sense of humor. He's very sarcastic, and I very much appreciate that. So you may be surprised to hear that, but I'm a very sarcastic person in real life. I just tend to dial back on my sarcasm in certain contexts just because I don't want to offend people. But people who know me really well know that I can be very sarcastic. I'm also a ranter. I will rant about people, especially being in customer service as one of my jobs. I tend to rant about people a lot, and Charlie really does that a lot, even in his videos, and I just get a huge kick out of it. So yes, definitely Charles Heathcote makes me happy. Question 7, is a booktuber who you'd love to do a buddy read with? And I have several I could say here, but the one I'm going to go with that I've really wanted to do a buddy read with for a while is Emily from Novell Novels. Now, I do have a buddy read planned with her starting February. We're going to be reading The Brontes by Juliet Barker together, and then possibly, if she's still up for it by the time we get around to then, in Booktober, I'd like to buddy read Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy with her. And so we have them planned, but she's one that I definitely have really wanted to. There's a few others I could mention, including like Jennifer Brooks and Connor Stompanato. I will mention him here because I just realized on my list I don't have him anywhere on this list, and I need to mention Connor. So Connor Stompanato, I would love to buddy read with him, and I already have plans to do a buddy read, of The Return of the Native in February with him, so that will be fabulous. And yeah, so we'll go with those two, and then there are many other people that I'd love to buddy read with. In fact, if you would like to do a buddy read, let me know. I'm pretty overwhelmed for the next several months, so it might have to wait till summer or later depending on how my life goes, because this semester is turning out to be the busiest semester I've ever had in my life, which is to be expected. I'm a junior and it's like my third from my last semester, so it's definitely the semester most people are most busy, and I'm definitely feeling that very much. All my classes seem to have a lot more work this semester than any of my previous classes, and of course I'm taking them all at the same time, so Anyway, it'll be great, but definitely will not have time to do too many buddy reads until this semester is over. But again, reach out to me and I'll try to figure out if I can find a time to buddy read with you. Question 8 is a booktuber with under 1,000 subscribers that you love. I am going to name 5 people for this one just because since they are under 1,000 subscribers, I'd love to encourage more people to subscribe. Not that I have all that many subscribers. I am definitely far under 1,000 subscribers, so I don't know how helpful this will be, but you know, every comment about these booktubers and their channels is helpful. So we're going to recommend them. One is Sun from Sun and Mood Reads. She's fabulous. I just recently subscribed to her on recommendation from Kate Howe actually, and she is just really fun to watch. And she doesn't do a ton of video uploads, which in some ways is kind of nice, especially if you're subscribed to a ton of different channels. It's nice to have one that you really enjoy, but that's not adding to your weekly overwhelming count of videos on your video feed, which I currently have. So anyway, next we have Scallydandling about the books. Roz is just wonderful to watch, and she has such wonderful thoughts about books and is very good at reading very diversely, and I enjoy listening to her videos, watching them a lot. Jackie from Jackie Reads and Writes is also fabulous. She reads a lot of thrillers, mysteries, at least she has recently. She does break out of that. She reads some fantasy, reads classics, reads a variety of different things. She's actually pretty versatile compared to some other booktubers, but she reads a lot of thrillers and mysteries, so if you are interested in that, definitely check her out for that. Petra Yu also is wonderful. She has wonderful reading vlogs, and I absolutely love hearing her thoughts on different things. And then the 5th one I want to mention is Naomi from Naomi's Bookshelf. She just recently started doing a Clue TBR game that I think is really fun, and she's just a wonderful person, so definitely check her out as well. Question 9 is a booktuber with over 1,000 subscribers that you love. I could mention many people. Kate from Kate Howe, Katie from Books and Things, Lucy the Reader, Hannah from Hannah's Books, so many different people. There's so many people I could mention, but the one I want to focus on for this question is one that I more recently discovered, and I've just been loving his videos so much. He's one that I also considered putting on Making Me Happy because his videos really do make me happy, and that is Simon from Savage Reads. I love his channel so much, and I just love the way he approaches life. I feel like he is very good at accepting, you know, he has his anxieties, he has his concerns, he has his struggles, but he also wants to try to continue to move forward and look at positive things without it's not like he ignores the problems of life, and it's not like he uses positivity to excuse the problems in life, but he recognizes its power at the same time to be able to be positive even when it's hard. So I really like his channel and definitely recommend you check it out. And question 10 is, who do you tag? Now I'm just going to say I tag everybody who I mentioned in this video, and if I did not mention you in this video, I apologize. First of all, I just have a lot of channels I'm subscribed to and I had to narrow down a good amount, but feel free to do this tag if you would like to when you're watching this and you have your own channel. Just let me know in the comments that you're doing it so that I can make sure I watch it, because I definitely would like to. And yeah, that will be everything from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!